My philosophy on having dessert when you have diabetes is that you can still enjoy the classics, but you may need to make a few little swaps and implement some portion control. For my perfect mini peach cobblers, I'm using store-bought ingredients like pie crust and frozen peaches, as well as Truvia Sweet Complete all-purpose sweetener to sweeten the deal. Let's jump in and put together our mini peach cobblers. I'll start by prepping my ramekins. Doing that little prep work ahead goes a pretty long way. I have my butter, and what I will do is open up my butter, and just to make sure that things don't stick, I'm gonna rub each ramekin on the inside with a little bit of butter. Now that I've gotten my ramekins all set and buttered, they're off to the side, we're going to work on our filling. I love this filling so much because we're using frozen, no sugar added peaches, and that just makes it easy. You don't have to peel peaches, you don't have to worry about any extra added sugar. I'm using 2 cups of frozen peaches, and to that I'm going to add my Truvia Sweet Complete. And I love Truvia Sweet Complete, especially in baked goods, because it measures cup for cup like sugar. It also bakes and browns in recipes, so there's no compromising on your dessert's final look or taste. So I have 1 cup here, and I'm gonna pour that. Then I'm just gonna add a couple more things to enhance this. So we have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, helps bring out a little bit of the extra sweetness in the fruit. We have some cornstarch, and what our cornstarch is going to do is help us get a little bit of a slurry and a thickening when this bakes. So I'm using 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then just a little bit of a dash of pumpkin pie spice. And what this has in it is cinnamon, ginger, allspice, and nutmeg. It's a nice little complement to the peaches. And I really like how those spices bring out some of the flavors in the fruit. Then we'll take a spoon and give it a nice little stir. And just make sure to get everybody nice and incorporated. And it looks great here. Don't worry if there's not a lot of liquid in there yet, because these are frozen. Some liquid is gonna release. It's gonna mix with that cornstarch in the oven and create that nice, thick cobbler sauce that you're used to. So don't even worry about it right now. This is gonna melt just a little bit while we get the rest of our stuff prepped. So set it aside. Just make sure that everything looks nice and incorporated. Now it's time to work on our store-bought dough. So I am just taking about a tablespoon of flour on my clean counter. So you can do this on your counter, just make sure it is clean. And I'm gonna rub my hands in just a little bit so that the dough doesn't stick to my hands. Then I'll take my thawed out store-bought dough. Make sure you thaw it first. It's gonna make it a little easier to press it out and to roll it. Mine is a puck, yours might be a sheet. If it's a sheet, it's gonna be a lot easier on you. It's already gonna be rolled out, so all you have to do is do the hard work of stamping it out. So I'm just gonna flip it because I have a little bit of flour on both sides. I just wanna make sure that nothing sticks to my counter here, because we want all of that dough, right? Like, we want to eat it all. I wanna eat it all. And then from the center, I'm gonna press down and roll it out. I wanna roll it out about a 1/4 inch thick, and we're going to roll out 8 of them, 1 for the top of our cobbler and 1 for the bottom. Now I'm gonna stamp out my crust. So I want to make 8 circles. That's gonna be enough for 1 top and 1 bottom for each ramekin. Perfect, I've got 8. I'm gonna have some crust left over. You can ball that back up and freeze it if you'd like, and then reuse it for another pie crust or another mini cobbler, whatever you wanna use it for, but it doesn't have to go to waste. And then we'll get the bottom layer into the ramekins. Perfect, and now that we've got everything into the ramekins, so we've got that crust in there, it's great. We'll go ahead and start adding our filling. So I'm gonna give this a little stir, because as you can see, it's already melted a little bit. So we're getting some of that juice in there, which is exactly what we want. And then I'll just go ahead and add the mixture into each one. You want to get as much peachy goodness in there as you possibly can. So I stack it up. I put it right to the top. All that's left to do is we need to top our peach cobblers with the remaining crusts, and then we'll create a little egg wash and sprinkle the tops with a little extra Truvia, and that is going to help give it a nice golden, crunchy, crispy top with a little bit of caramelized sweetener. Sweet Complete is granulated, so it's great for the filling, but also for a topping. That nice crispiness, that nice golden brown caramelization, it always works really nicely on top of peach cobbler. That's probably one of my favorite parts. Especially since this crust isn't sweet at all. It's nice that this adds just a little bit of sweetness to it. And then these are ready to pop in the oven. I put my ramekins onto a silicone lined baking sheet. It just makes things easier to clean up later, and just in case there's any bubbling over inside of the ramekins in the oven, it's gonna spill out onto that silicone mat instead of into your oven. So makes cleanup a breeze and makes things super easy. All right, in they go. This looks amazing. So we've gotta dig in and try some. Get a little bit of peach, get a little bit of that crust, a little bit of the sauce. Super hot. That is some good peach cobbler. I love the mini ramekins. Makes it super easy for portion control, and it's just absolutely delicious. Buttery, sweet. That Truvia gives it that nice sweetness that we're looking for and that we love in peach cobbler. I definitely am gonna make this again. I love using Truvia Sweet Complete all-purpose sweetener in my baking recipes. It helps me reduce sugar while still maintaining the dish's sweetness. If you're ready to try Sweet Complete in these cobblers or your favorite baked dish, check out the description below for the full recipe and an Amazon link so that you can order your Truvia Sweet Complete all-purpose sweetener. Now I've gotta go and enjoy one of these peach cobblers. I gotta go eat the rest of it. It's so good, and I'm gonna share the rest with some friends. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.